Welcome, wonderful people. I am the Loose Critic, and today I am giving you my loose impressions of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. This sounds like a Japanese light novel title or a TV show that was directed at teenagers. Created by Northway Games, I've spent about 8 hours in title so far. Let's take a look at the settings. Under General, you have a bunch of different quality of life options. One of those being the actual difficulty. You can make the challenges for the cards harder, or you can make it so that it's simply a flip of the coin if you don't really want to take time to actually play the core mechanic of the game. Don't know why you would do that other than, reading the story. You could just go watch a Let's Play. Down here in graphics, you have all sorts of different quality options. The game is pretty basic in terms of how it actually presents itself, though, and aside from the water effects, I don't think that there's anything that really takes a whole bunch of your graphics power. Audio, all of your basic audio settings are here that you would ever need. Controls, everything is rebindable. There's nothing too complicated about them. Another thing on the main menu I want to take a look at is the content warnings. This is awesome. I really like having warnings for people who might have certain triggers that they want to avoid. Something that I think would be nice is if they had this same list presented on the Steam page towards the top instead of in-game, so you don't open the game, see content warnings, you click this, and you're like, oh, mental health and trauma, I don't want to play that game, why did I buy this? That said, this is like the high overview of these are things in the game. If you click on them, warning, spoilers, it goes into a brief thing that talks about what type of topics there will be in the area of that sensitive topic. Alright, with that said, let's hop into game. And this is you. This is your character. For the most part, they look pretty non-binary. There's an actual option when you create the game to choose your gender that you will lean towards, but for the most part, the visual look of your character stays the same for most of the game so far. The only thing that really changes is the pronouns that people use to call you. There are a slew of characters all across the spectrum in the game. There's some that display some personality traits that would be on the spectrum. It's pretty neat. There's a lot of representation. It's cool. What is the game, though? Well, if you go up here to memories, we have a deck. So this game is a combination of life simulators. If you've heard of Chinese Parents or Growing Up, it's like those, but it's combined with a light poker system where you create suites of colors as well as use flushes or other aspects of card games. And there's some cards that go across all three of the color spectrums. But that's pretty much the whole game, and I will show you that here shortly. The game is very heavily story-based, and you can lightly manage your deck by removing cards, but the options to do that are pretty few in between. There's an option in here, if you go to the spa, which I unlocked recently, you can pay 50 of these kudos, which are the currency that you earn by doing everything, and you can pay to remove a card from your deck. Or you can rest, which you can do this in a few different places throughout the game, and that lets you choose between two random cards in your deck to remove. So the actual management system is pretty minimal, but it is there. It does have a lot of unique twists for a life sim game that breathe new life into the genre that have been pretty appreciative. All of these characters have dialogues that you unlock as you befriend them or as different events happen throughout the game. If I click on friends here, you can see that I have some high-level friendships with some of these people, and then there are new people that have joined the group, and there's still 4 people who I don't know. The adults you don't actually have friendship meters with, it's just the other children. You can see I'm age 16. The game tells you that it ends at age 20, so you get to play ages 10 through 19, and that is the game. You can see here, these are the bars that I was talking about. You can see I chose the androgynous appearance, and then the he pronoun. Over here you have your character traits. You can toggle this on and off. You can see there's 3 little dips at each every 33 points, and when you hit 33 you get to unlock a perk. You don't get to know what the perk is ahead of time, so you just have to go with what you hope is going to be beneficial. So far I've gotten quite a few of these. I have mostly focused in organizing and perception, and that so far has let me draw an extra card, equip an additional gear slot, And perception seems to be mostly about finding collectibles on the ground that you can pick up. It's not too beneficial compared to the other one. Back in here, you can see gear. You are able to buy this from the shop after a couple of years in game when the shop finally opens, or you just find them throughout your other gameplay. And I have focused primarily on getting bonuses to my social skills, but you also have things where you can draw extra cards, you can buff other skills, you can just get a +5 total to your challenges, which we'll go over that soon. Collectibles, these are gifts that you can give to people or that you can use during combat instances. I say combat instances, it's not combat. There are ones that are called combat where you use the actual combat skill, but for the most part they're just challenges is what they are. You go to talk with people, you can see we can give them a gift. You can click on any character once you see them on the left side here when you're in a dialogue screen, and this will show you a series of things that you have learned about them, as well as their likes, dislikes, their birthday if you've discovered that, their stats if you've discovered that. Now, let's go ahead and show you a instance. What do we want to do? Let's see. We almost have our creativity at the next blip, but I think that I want to go ahead and just max out organizing. So let's go up here. And this is one of those rooms that you can go in, and over here, if you hover over these, you can see what bonuses they will give you. And this is the bare core bonus that you will get for succeeding. If you do a really good job in the challenge, you can get bonuses on top of that. So let's go ahead and do this. The game is not voice acted, it is entirely through text, so I will be briefly going over what is happening in the text fields as we go through. So if you don't want to listen to me, that's too bad. That's what this game is. The mood is somber as Mars calls the secret Fun Times Club meeting to order. An enemy won't be joining us today, she announces, or probably ever again. She told me she's too busy with training and stuff, and she didn't want to do any more sneaking around. She sniffs dismissively. It's okay. She was kind of a square anyway, but we need someone to replace her. Some of the Helio kids are pretty cool, she says. They like clubs and stuff, right? We should talk to them and see if they want to join the SFC. Mars stops and holds up her finger. Oh, and it's just SFV now. The secret Fun Times Club was okay when we were little, but we're practically adults now. What about the new governor, Loom? Tang asks. I know he's technically an adult, but he's fairly young, and it would be beneficial to have someone with some actual clout on our side. Mars gives Tang a withering look. We already have someone important in the club, Tang, but thank you for your contribution. She crosses her arm and thinks. I mean, Loom's alright, kind of dumb, but like, you don't have to be smart to be hot, you know? I can't believe we just let him be in charge. I've listened in on some of his council meetings, and they're total chaos. It's like he has no idea what he's doing. On that note, who do you want to join the club? Ah, see, these are the new people who have joined the colony that I have not befriended at all, so I don't get to choose anybody here. That is one of the restrictions of not befriending everybody. You haven't really clicked with any of the Helio kids, and you know better than to suggest an adult. So, nobody joined the club. Alright. Every time you do one of these instances, there's a pretty good chance that you will have a small story blip like that that can lightly impact things. And so far, almost all of them have been light impacts. There have been a couple overarching stories, one of which involved an allergy that was actually a fungal spore that was invading your colony's breathing systems. And you had to go and get essentially seek out a way to find a vaccine by paying attention to the story, listening to it, and I was able to do that. And because I did that, I believe I probably saved my father from dying. So yeah, you know, pay attention to the story. Again, this game is almost entirely story. That's why you should be playing it if you're gonna play it. This is the challenge. Up here you can see we have the consumables that we can drag down and use on our cards if we wanted. Up here you can see the buffs that you're getting from your gear. Over here is the goal. So we need to get a goal of 31. And because this is a social challenge, I do have +2 to the base level of winning. So let's go ahead. If I put 2 cards that are the same color next to each other, you can see over here I get a flush. If I put 3 cards which are numerically in sequence, which isn't going to work because this has +1 for all unplayed cards. Alright, well let's go ahead and do this. You can see here if there are cards that are the... I have a bug here. It's not showing me all of my stat bonuses. There we go. Cards that are of the same value, you get a number of a kind bonus. And there is one for having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Numerical sequence bonuses. let's go ahead and see. There's no time limit, so you can kind of mess around with the cards and just see the best outcome that you can possibly get. Let's see here. There you go, 32, that let us beat it. And if you click win up here on the top, it'll show you the best score you could have gotten with your cards. So we could have gotten a 35 there if I had been being more studious about it and paying attention. But you still get a bonus for filling out any of these stars. You see here I got an extra persuasion and an extra 2 kudos. And this is one of the yearly instances. Every time you go through this calendar in the top, one full loop here is a year. There are 4 seasons. You see each one of them that have early, mid, and late. And then there is a final one at the end of the year called the Glow, where bad things seem to happen every year. Every time you progress on this calendar, there's a predetermined event that'll happen throughout each year. It's different each year on depending what is happening on the story. That part's probably going to be similar through replay values. That said, before we get into this bit of the story, there has been some hints that there is going to be replayability, because when you first show up through the wormhole, you get flash forwards of events that could happen. And in one of those, I saw the adult version of another child that unfortunately was killed early on in my playthrough. And I believe that if I had chosen a different best friend at the start, that probably would have been different. I'm looking forward to seeing replay value. I'm probably going to do one full loop of the game, start a new one, and see just how much changes by playing again. There was also an instance where I almost died and I had a whole bunch of injuries and I am a bastard and I save scummed and I reloaded. And when I did that, there was a new dialogue option at the part where I died that was like, hey, you have a premonition, like this is bad, you need to get out of here. So that is interesting, that it almost at a level knew I save scummed and gave me a new dialogue option. So I think that there's definitely going to be some replay value. I'm not sure if that's a bug because I save scummed and I like unticked a box somewhere in the code that was like, yep, they've seen this event, give them this extra dialogue option. But that's going to be interesting. So this is the yearly event that happens every year on the early dust season, where there's a competition that goes on. Hello, people of Vertumna, he exclaims over the din. Happy Vertumnalia. He takes a big theatrical breath. You smell that? That's the smell of victory. We humans have secured our hold on this planet, and now it's time to celebrate. Loon gestures to the sagging feast tables. Eat, drink, and be merry. The crowd cheers again. After the council members each give their annual reports, everyone starts clearing the square to set up for the Vertumnalia Games. You feel the pulse of a new hollow message in your palm and open it up to read. Your secret admirer. Interesting. You rush over to the feast table and spot a wrapped present among the roasted vegetables. Wow, you have a secret admirer? Oh, sorry. Sheesh. That's a big step for a secret admirer to give you. It's a data band. You snap it on your wrist and boot it up on your hollow palm. It is all full of your favorite songs, videos, shows, and games, a collection curated by someone who must really know you. Now you'll always have your media with you even when the net goes down, including all of your favorite episodes of the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon. Nice! You search the hollow palm for any hints as who could have made it, but you can't find anything. You'll have to ask around, but that's for later. The games are about to begin. So here, there are always a few different sections for each of the skills that you can choose to perform in. I have always gone to the talent show, and I am not about to stop now. Mars and Rex report to the stage of the all-talent extravaganza. Rex has a nano-printed guitar and bows deeply to Mars before taking the stage. I dedicate my performance to your beauty, milady, he says, as Mars giggles. Oh, that's cringy. This was definitely written to appeal to younger adults, I think. There's a lot of cringe-worthy behavior, but it's a lot of it's self-acknowledgement. There are other characters that cringe at the behavior as well, so it covers a variety of personality types. Rex plucks a simple but charming song about how the most important quality in a partner is confidence. Mars takes the stage after him and does, real quick, I just want to note, Mars is shameless. Well, you can't see it very well from the wings of the stage, but it looks to be some kind of interpretive dance about freedom, autonomy, whatever it is. It has some of the adults wiping away tears. What do? I can do a juggling act or a comedy routine. After a romantic proclamation and then an interpretive dance, I think a comedy routine's gonna be the most awkward. Let's do it. This is a terrible hand. Alright, so this is another type of challenge. You have a higher goal, but you have 3 rounds to do it, and each round a separate card slot gets unlocked. In this case, I also have +1 to yellow cards, and one of my slots gets +3. Let's see here. +1. Alright, let's go ahead and put these gems in here. And this will give me... Oop, that is not what I wanted. There we go. 21 for first round. That's not bad. Let's see here. Actually, if I put the 5 here, it's going to give me an 8. I can put this 8 here. And the value is wild with this card, so let's go ahead and do that. So that'll count as an extra 8. And then we can have the 3 here. +33, this is going to be hard. I don't know if I can do this. I have to hit 39 here. I'll probably have to use some of my mushwood logs. Set neighbors to this value, that's pretty sick. Gives me the opportunity to put a bunch of 6s in a row. And then I'm just going to have to put my big cards in there. Actually, I should put a smaller card in there. Yeah. So I did hit it. I don't think that there's any higher I can get on this final round. Let's see. I could have gotten 1 more point somewhere if I had been smarter about it. That's fine. You have the crowd in stitches. People are literally crying with laughter. You win by a large margin of raucous applause. And you get a new card for that. After the festivities, everyone descends on the feast. You help keep your plate with more food than you can eat in 3 sittings. When all the food's gone and the sunset has broken the heat of the day, people break out their instruments and everyone dances well into the night. Yep, and that is pretty much the game. I do have a conversation here with Mars, so let's do that real quick and then we'll call it. Mars is painting her nails outside command, her head bobbing along to something only she can hear through her hearspeak. She shoots you a distracted smile when she sees you gesturing to turn off her music. What's poppin', critic? Someone gave you a data band, and it might have been Mars. You, my secret admirer. What? If I liked you, you would know, trust me. It's true, she's very shameless. You know what, I'm gonna go to straight to the person I suspect it might be. Which would be Tangent. Alright, Tangent is a very direct individual, so let's just directly ask. It is, alright. I'm not gonna go past here. I think this is a good spot to call it, leave you guys hanging. I Was a Teenage Exocolonist is available for $24.99 on Steam. Should you buy it? If you enjoy heavy story games and life sims, then yes, I think that it's a reasonably priced for the quality of storytelling and the amount that is in the game. It does tackle heavy topics around loss and mental health, but it does so in a very eloquent and approachable manner, and it does warn you ahead of time that these things are in the game that you will encounter. The way it has you grow and become closer with the characters over years and years is excellently presented. I have definitely, gotten a good feel for all of these characters and really enjoyed my time getting to learn more about them and better understand them. And on top of all of that, the game is gorgeous and the soundtrack is very relaxing. It's a very chill game to play. And I'm really enjoying what it's delivered, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Thank you for watching. I've been the Loose Critic. If you enjoyed this video, you can show your support by hitting the like or subscribe buttons below, and if you didn't, you can hit the dislike button. Trust me, my feeling will be hurt. I'll see you next time.